In 1975, the Bee Gees released Main Course, one of the most significant albums not just of their career, but in the history of popular music. This work was not just a successful record, it was a turning point, a bold reinvention that saved the group from obscurity while helping define the sound of pop and disco music for the latter half of the 1970s. Before Main Course, the Bee Gees were already well known. Hits like To Love Somebody, Massachusetts, and How Can You Mend a Broken Heart had made them global stars in the late 1960s and early 1970s.
And the lights all went down in Massachusetts. I could never see tomorrow.
However, like many artists who emerged in the 60s, they struggled to stay relevant in a new decade, demanding fresher, bolder sounds. Their previous albums, like Mr. Natural, 1974, although artistically interesting, did not achieve commercial success. The band found itself at a critical crossroads. Then came the idea of a complete reinvention. Suggested by their manager Robert Stigwood and the legendary producer Arif Mardin, the Bee Gees relocated to Miami, where they found not just a new musical atmosphere, but also a fresh surge of creative energy. The change of scenery was crucial. The heat, the vibrant city energy, and the influence of American funk and soul scenes began to seep into the Gibb brothers' music. The result was Main Course, an album that showcased a bold transformation. For the first time, the Bee Gees incorporated dance rhythms, R&B grooves, and, most notably, Barry Gibb's now iconic falsetto, a sound that would become one of the band's defining trademarks from that point on. The album opens with Nights on Broadway, a track that perfectly encapsulates this transition. In the studio, Arif Mardin asked Barry to scream a little during the recording, leading Barry to experiment with falsetto in a way he had never done before. The result was pure magic. Nights on Broadway not only became a hit, but also served as a new manifesto for the band, emotional, danceable, and modern. But Main Course is not just about Nights on Broadway. It's an album packed with gems, each reinforcing the Bee Gees' ability to blend sophisticated melodies with danceable rhythms. Jive Talking, arguably the album's standout track, is a prime example. Interestingly, the beat of the song was inspired by the sound of tires crossing a wooden bridge as they drove to the studio. The phrase Jive Talking, which they initially thought simply meant dancing, actually turned out to be slang for lying. That little misunderstanding became the foundation for a song that not only topped charts, but also cracked open the doors for the disco phenomenon that would soon dominate the late 70s. Other tracks, like Fanny, Be Tender With My Love, show the Bee Gees' emotional depth through ballads with intricate harmonies and sophisticated arrangements. Edge of the Universe brings a nearly psychedelic vibe, reminiscent of some of their late 60s sonic explorations. But now with renewed energy and perspective. It's important to note that Main Course was the first Bee Gees album where dance and groove dominated the musical structures, but without them losing their essence. Sincere lyrics, impeccable harmonies, and refined musicality. They didn't sell out to the market, they redefined it. The impact of Main Course cannot be overstated. It was from this album that the Bee Gees positioned themselves as key architects of the disco sound, culminating in the stratospheric success of the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, 1977. Without Main Course, it's hard to imagine the group ruling global charts in the following years with songs like Stayin' Alive, How Deep Is Your Love, and Night Fever. Moreover, Main Course revitalized the Bee Gees' career in a way that few artists have ever managed to replicate. From a band that was close to being forgotten, they became superstars once again. But this time, even bigger. capturing an entirely new generation of fans. More than that, they paved the way for pop music in the 70s and 80s, influencing an entire generation of musicians who learned from their ability to reinvent without losing their identity. Another fascinating aspect of Main Course is how it highlights the individual versatility of the Gibb brothers. Barry, Robin, and Maurice each showcase their unique talents throughout the album. Barry with his mastery of falsetto and vocal charisma, Robin with his emotional, almost weeping voice, and Maurice as the vital multi-instrumentalist who provided the body and texture to the recordings. Each played a crucial role in crafting this new sound. In terms of legacy, Main Course is not just a commercial success. It is seen as one of the greatest reinventions in pop music history. It stands as a testament to the Bee Gees' artistic courage, their ability to evolve, and their refusal to be confined to the past. They could have continued making the same melancholic ballads that initially brought them fame, but instead, they chose risk, they chose change, and they were grandly rewarded for it. Today, listening to Main Course, it's impossible not to feel its vitality. Even decades later, songs like Jive Talking and Nights on Broadway sound fresh, vibrant, and full of life. That is the sign of a truly timeless work. In short, Main Course is more than just another Bee Gees album. It is a cultural landmark, a work that redefined a band, helped shape an entire genre, and left an indelible mark on the history of popular music. It's proof that greatness often comes from those who dare to change and have the talent to make that change eternal.